Elon Musk is showing that he is the man of the moment who can save the world, particularly at this moment of unprecedented crisis rocking the world, which is a result of the fallout of the invasion of Ukraine by Russia. With Russia threatening to pull out of the cooperation with the West on the International Space Station in response to the sanctions imposed on them. Find out more in this video and how Elon Musk intends to save the ISS from falling. Stay tuned. The invasion of Ukraine by Russia has necessitated that world powers react to defend the Russian neighbors. The two countries that have been at loggerheads for some time now, up until late February, when the Russian president decided to invade Ukraine. But this has invoked sanctions on Russia, as Western countries target the Russian economy with crippling sanctions. But Russia has threatened to halt every form of cooperation with the West. Russia and the West have cooperated on several fields, notably the collaboration on the International Space Station. With Russia being hit with sanctions, the nation has threatened to hit back by ending collaboration at the International Space Station, which would cause the International Space Station to fall away somewhere in Europe or the United States. This would certainly be disastrous for us all. But then there is the man Elon, who has offered to salvage the situation. Elon Musk is the richest man on Earth and is often regarded as the greatest entrepreneur in the 21st century. He is currently the pioneer of private space exploration with his company SpaceX. Responding to the threat to disrupt the ISS, Elon Musk said SpaceX would save the International Space Station from an uncontrolled deorbit after the head of Russia's space agency warned it could crash into the US or Europe. The threat came from the head of Roscosmos, Dmitry Rogozin, who claimed that it was the Russian expertise that has kept the ISS in orbit and suggested that sanctions against Russia for its invasion of Ukraine could lead to a catastrophe. Mr. Rogozin said, and I quote, "If you block cooperation with us, who will save the ISS from an uncontrolled deorbit and fall into the United States and Europe?" The space chief tweeted on Friday. There is also the option of dropping a 500-ton structure to India and China. Do you want to threaten them with such a prospect? The ISS does not fly over Russia, so all the risks are yours. Are you ready for them? The threat came on the eve of U.S. and Western sanctions on Russia for its invasion of Ukraine. The sanctions already have caused havoc for the Russian economy as the economy has begun to tumble. The Russian ruble immediately hit its lowest against the dollar in years, and it continues to tumble in free fall. Also, the immediate impact of the sanction has caused the Moscow Stock Exchange to be closed at the moment in China. What is the fuss about the International Space Station? The ISS is a multi-nation construction project that is the largest single structure humans ever put into space. Its main construction was completed between 1998 and 2011, although the station continually evolves to include new missions and experiments. It has been continuously occupied since November 2nd, 2000. It is interesting to know that the International Space Station is a partnership between 10 European countries, represented by the ESA, the United States, NASA, Japan, JAXA, Canada, the CSA, and Russia, Roscosmos. The ISS is the world's largest international cooperative program in science and technology to date. Hence, it is not owned by anyone. It is important to know that the International Space Station is divided into two sections: the Russian Orbital Segment, or ROS, which Russia operates, and the United States Orbital Segment, or USOS, which the United States and other nations run. While the Russian segment includes 6 modules, the U.S. segment consists of 10 modules, with support services distributed between NASA and the Japanese, Canadian, and European space agencies. As of 2021, it is estimated that over 250 individuals from 19 countries have visited the International Space Station. The top participating countries include the United States with 153 people and Russia with 50 people. Astronaut time and research time on the space station are allocated to space agencies according to how much money or resources, such as modules or robotics, they contribute. The ISS includes contributions from 15 nations. NASA, represented by the U.S., Roscosmos by Russia, and the European Space Agency are the major partners of the space station who contribute most of the funding. The other partners are the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency and the Canadian Space Agency. Clearly, we can see that Russia is a major player with the ISS as it has a significant contribution. NASA does rely on Russian propulsion to help control the International Space Station's altitude or position and orientation in space, and periodically boost the station on its orbit around Earth. Without Russia, NASA would have to engineer a new solution to help keep the station on the right path in space so that the vehicle does not slowly fall out of orbit and enter Earth's atmosphere. If the Russians walk away, then you've got this massive object that's going to come back in randomly somewhere over the Earth. Wayne Hale, former program manager of NASA's Space Shuttle and a member of NASA's Advisory Council, tells The Verge. However, such a scenario would take quite a while to manifest, possibly giving NASA some time to devise an alternate solution. It's not like a week, it'll probably be several years, says Hale. And that would mean an end to the ISS, and this would most likely impact the world. Mr. Rogozin is essentially implying that without Russia stepping in to take evasive measures, the ISS could potentially fall onto one of these countries, which are periodically below the station on its orbit. Alright, I know you've enjoyed this video till now. Be sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on your notification to get more updates from Glancy Tech. The truth is, Elon Musk has demonstrated capabilities along this line by bringing about creative invention. But Elon Musk has a series of failed promises, notably the promise to find missing Thailand child. Although the children were later found, Elon Musk's promise never materialized. But this does not mean that Elon doesn't always help. For example, in this present Russian aggression against Ukraine, we have seen Elon Musk activate a Starlink internet satellite connectivity for Ukraine. What is Elon Musk proposing? If Russia's involvement in the orbiting laboratory was to end before then, Mr. Musk has proposed that the Russian segment could be replaced by a SpaceX Dragon that could provide robust capability and altitude control. This is because our Russian spacecraft has kept the ISS in propulsion till now, and if the Russians were to pull off from the collaboration, they would also have to take out their spacecraft. The Dragon spacecraft is the solution provided by Musk. The Dragon spacecraft is capable of carrying up to 7 passengers to and from Earth orbit and beyond. It is the only spacecraft currently flying that is capable of returning significant amounts of cargo to Earth, and it is the first private spacecraft to take humans to the space station. The Dragon spacecraft is equipped with 16 Draco thrusters used to orient the spacecraft during the mission, including apogee-perigee maneuvers, orbit adjustment, and attitude control. Each Draco thruster is capable of generating 90 pounds of force in the vacuum of space. But would this work? Well, we don't know if this would work. But would Russia leave the ISS cooperation? Immediately after Mr. Rogozin made the comment of cutting collaboration, NASA sent a statement via email in response to Rogozin's comments, saying the space agency continues working with all of our international partners, including the state space corporation Roscosmos, for the ongoing safe operations of the International Space Station. The new export control measures will continue to allow U.S.-Russia civil space cooperation. No changes are planned to the agency's support for ongoing in-orbit and ground station operations. The new export control measures will continue to allow U.S.-Russia civil space cooperation. After NASA announced its intention to continue business as usual with Russia in orbit, Rogozin backed off his belligerent tone, tweeting, "As diplomats say, our concerns have been heard. In the meantime, we continue to analyze the new U.S. sanctions to detail our response." There are currently 2 Russian cosmonauts living in the ISS, alongside 4 American astronauts and the European Space Agency's Matthias Maurer from Germany. Notwithstanding the threat from Russia, it looks like the cooperation would still be one for the unforeseeable period, even as 3 more Russian cosmonauts are set to launch to the ISS. Shortly thereafter, the 2 cosmonauts on board and 1 NASA astronaut will return to Earth in a Russian capsule, touching down in Kazakhstan. With this in mind, should we expect the Russians to stop collaboration, and can Elon Musk salvage the situation? Be sure to check out our next video.